and girls. I want to introduce you to our very first topic that we're going to learn about in writing in second grade. I'm very excited to introduce you to the genre of personal narrative. Wait, you're probably thinking, that fancy word she just said. Genre. Well, that's a fancy word. I can teach you what it means. Genre just means the type of something. But in order to say genre correctly, you have to stand up. So everybody stand up. Stand up. All right, stand up. Okay? And I want you to put your hands together. And when I say three, we're going to say genre together, but we're going to say it like genre. Because if you're going to say a fancy word, you have to be fancy with it. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Genre. Awesome job, guys. All right, so let's talk about personal narrative. Okay, personal narrative is the type of writing we're going to do. Just like information writing, that's another genre. Or fairy tale writing, that's another genre. We also have genres of books. But we're going to focus on personal narrative. That's probably the easiest place for us to start because personal narrative is an absolutely true story about you. My personal narratives are true stories about me. And we all have those ideas. We've all had things happen to us, so we have plenty of ideas to get stories from. All right? Personal narratives come from our experiences, places you've been, vacations you've gone on, sports you've played, things that have happened to you. Those are your experiences that we're going to write about. Now, a personal narrative is really special because a personal narrative is not about your whole life. It's not about what happened on an entire vacation. It's not about a week-long trip. A personal narrative is about one small moment in time. Just one little moment. Little moment. All right, so when we talk about small moments, those small moments are going to focus on just one time. Something I like to tell my boys and girls is I like for them to think that those small moments can fit inside a photograph. If you can take a photograph of something, then that's a small moment. It's really hard to take one photograph of your entire trip somewhere. But if you're at the beach and you're building a sandcastle, you can get that in a photograph. That's what I mean by a small moment. Some of these big ideas that a lot of you have, we call those watermelons. Now, while watermelons are super yummy, they're great, they're delicious, those ideas are just too big to write about. It would take too many pages to write with enough detail. We're going to talk about ideas that come from those watermelons, and something you find inside a watermelon is a seed. And a seed idea is a tiny moment in time, a tiny moment that comes from those big ideas that we can really take time to write about and do a really good job. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to think, do I have any watermelon ideas that I can find some seeds to write about? And I want you to pause the video and think. To think about some watermelon ideas. And I want to talk about watermelon, big yummy watermelon, and a little bitty seed. Remember, personal narratives, we want to focus on those little bitty seeds. So your watermelon, those are big ideas, like a whole beach trip. You know, that takes place over a couple days or a week. A snow. Oh, there's tons of things we do in the snow. Or going to Disney World. Oh my goodness, we would need an entire writer's notebook to write about a trip to Disney World. Well, that's a little too much. So that you can't really write about those with really good detail. But what you can write about with really good detail are small moments, those little seed ideas. So if I think about a small moment, you know, I think about my beach trip. My beach trip is a watermelon, but while I was at the beach, you know, I built this really cool sandcastle with my daughter. So that's a small moment. I could capture that in one photograph. I could write about building a sandcastle with Macy Ann. If I think about snow, you know, that's a big watermelon. So much fun, but I want to think about one thing, and I thought about the time we had a snowball fight. That was so much fun. All right, so that's a seed moment. That's something I could write about. Or on a trip to Disney World, wow, that's so much stuff. It's a great big watermelon. I really need to think about one little thing. Riding on Space Mountain. I could write a paper with really good detail about how I felt and what happened on riding that roller coaster. So I want you to think about watermelon ideas and seed ideas. You've already gotten a little bit of a start. So what I want you to do, when we finish, you're going to go to your writing journal. See, I have my writing journal. And you're going to open up to your very next clean page. It's very important that you go to the next page and not just pick any page. Because if you just pick any page, then your writing gets all jumbled up. You want to go to the very next page. And so we go to the very next page. And what I want you to do is take your page and you're going to fold it in half, just like this, so it gives you that perfect line down the middle. And you're going to label one side watermelon and one side seed. And I want you to think of some of those watermelon ideas that you have. Maybe it's going to the beach. That's what I put. My trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know, that's a watermelon. That's a lot of detail. But then I thought about all the little moments that happened while we were on those trips. And remember, your watermelons, they don't have to be trips. They can be anything. All right? So for the beach, I put building sandcastles. A seed moment was riding on boogie boards. Another seed moment was seeing a shark. That would have a lot of detail and emotion tied to that story. And then I went to our trip to Gatlinburg. And I wrote down a seed moment was tubing down the river. Another one was kayaking down a rapid. Not a good decision. And there was another one, seeing a bear. I thought he was going to eat me. Oh my goodness. So these are seed ideas. I want you in your journal to make 2 columns, watermelon and seed. I want you to brainstorm some watermelon ideas and then decide, do I have some seed moments, some small things that happened inside there that would be really fun to write a story about? And today, as a part of your seesaw assignment, you are going to show your teacher what you did for your watermelon and seed ideas. We can't wait to start personal narratives with you all, so let's get started.